Welcome back to the channel. Friends. As 2025 rapidly approaches, it feels like the perfect time to take a step back and reflect on some of the most spine-chilling predictions from history. We've all heard the names Nostradamus and Baba Vanga, two of the most famous figures known for their prophecies. But today, we're going to do more than just skim the surface of their well-known visions. We'll be diving deep into their most chilling predictions for 2025, as well as exploring other unusual and thought-provoking insights that hint at a world-changing event on the horizon. From global conflicts to extraterrestrial encounters, the predictions we'll discuss today could shake the very foundation of what we think we know about the future. But before we jump in, I want to ask you all a question: do you believe in the power of prophecy? Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, these predictions may just leave you questioning everything. Is it possible that these visions are more than just coincidence? Are we truly on the brink of a world-altering event as some of these prophets predicted? Stick with us as we unpack these uncanny revelations that might just surprise you. And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You won't want to miss any of the intriguing discussions coming your way, especially as we dig deeper into these fascinating predictions for 2025. Now, let's get started. As we venture into 2025, many have already begun to wonder if the world is truly on the brink of significant change. Some of the most notable figures in history, such as Nostradamus and Baba Vanga, have left behind eerie prophecies about what the future holds. But could these visions really be telling us something about the year ahead? Let's explore what these prophetic figures predicted, alongside some additional insights that could hint at world-changing events in 2025. Nostradamus and his predictions for global war. Nostradamus, the 16th century French astrologer, is widely regarded as one of the most famous seers in history. His cryptic quatrains have been interpreted in many ways, but they often foretell war, destruction, and the shifting tides of power. When it comes to 2025, Nostradamus is said to have predicted a massive global conflict that could shake the world to its core. According to his writings, the year 2025 will see a monumental war involving the United States, China, and Europe. Nostradamus was particularly focused on the relationship between the West and China, predicting that tensions would escalate to the point of a full-blown global war. This could be linked to economic disputes, territorial conflicts, or ideological differences. Some even believe that the prophecy suggests the rise of a new power on the world stage, which could shift the balance of geopolitical influence. Many historians argue that Nostradamus' predictions about war align with modern-day tensions between the superpowers. With the ongoing trade war, technological rivalry, and military posturing between the United States and China, the idea of a large-scale conflict in the near future doesn't seem too far-fetched. The world's fragile political climate, especially with the rise of nationalism and authoritarianism in various countries, could be the spark that ignites this predicted war. Baba Vanga's chilling forecasts. Baba Vanga, the blind Bulgarian mystic, is another name that frequently comes up when discussing prophecies about the future. Known for her ability to predict significant world events, such as the collapse of the Soviet Union and the 9/11 attacks, Baba Vanga's prophecies about 2025 are just as unsettling. One of her most famous predictions involves a major conflict between the United States and China, which she believed would result in widespread devastation. According to Baba Vanga, this conflict would not only involve military confrontations but would also have profound economic and social impacts. She also predicted that Europe would not remain untouched by this global war, as many nations would be drawn into the chaos, leading to a domino effect of instability. What's even more fascinating is that Baba Vanga's predictions go beyond war. She also spoke about alien contact and telepathy breakthroughs in 2025. These two elements seem to go hand in hand in her visions, suggesting that the revelation of extraterrestrial life could coincide with major advancements in human communication. Could it be that 2025 is the year humanity finally makes contact with beings from another world? Or perhaps, as some theories suggest, this could be the year when humanity discovers its own hidden potential for telepathic communication. But perhaps the most chilling of all Baba Vanga's predictions is her belief that the global conflict would lead to the eventual downfall of major powers. The fall of Syria, which she predicted years ago, is seen as a precursor to this larger conflict. With the collapse of Syria and ongoing tensions in the Middle East, some believe that her predictions are eerily accurate and that the pieces are falling into place for a much larger war. The letter from 1996, a mysterious revelation. In addition to the visions of Nostradamus and Baba Vanga, there is another mysterious piece of the puzzle that's worth discussing. In 1996, Linda Moulton Howe, an investigative journalist and ufologist, received a letter that contained unsettling information about the future. The letter, which has since become a topic of much speculation, stated that in 2025, humanity would face a major event that would alter the course of history forever, a disclosure of alien life that would change everything. Could 2025 be the year when governments around the world are forced to admit the truth about extraterrestrial life? With increasing reports of UFO sightings, unexplained aerial phenomena, and government disclosures about encounters with unidentified objects, it seems that the possibility of full disclosure is becoming more and more plausible. Some believe that this event will be the catalyst for a larger societal shift, one that will forever alter humanity's perception of its place in the universe. Other prophecies and insights, the coming of the aquatic empire. Another intriguing aspect of Nostradamus' predictions for 2025 involves the appearance of a mysterious leader from the sea. Nostradamus spoke of a leader who would rise from the oceans, bringing with them an aquatic empire. This leader, some speculate, could be symbolic of a new era or a technological revolution that is tied to the world's oceans and seas. With rising sea levels due to climate change, some believe that this prophecy could be linked to the environmental crises that humanity is facing. This aquatic empire could also symbolize a shift in power, with nations or groups that are able to control the oceans emerging as global superpowers. As climate change accelerates, there is increasing concern about the future of coastal cities and nations that depend on the seas for trade and resources. In a world where access to clean water, food, and energy could become increasingly scarce, control over the oceans could become a major point of conflict. The role of technology and climate change in 2025. As we look ahead to 2025, it's clear that technology and climate change will play a major role in shaping the future. Nostradamus and Baba Vanga both spoke of technological advancements that would change the way humanity communicates and interacts with the world. From artificial intelligence to quantum computing, these technologies are expected to revolutionize industries and societies across the globe. But alongside these advancements, there are growing concerns about climate change and its impact on the planet. Rising sea levels, extreme weather events, and environmental degradation could lead to widespread displacement, resource scarcity, and conflict. Some believe that the prophecies of a global war and the rise of new powers are directly tied to the environmental crises that are expected to unfold over the next few decades. As governments struggle to deal with the fallout from climate change, there may be a push for new leadership, new alliances, and new ways of organizing society. Could 2025 be the year when humanity faces these challenges head-on and begins to make the difficult decisions needed to secure a sustainable future? Final thoughts, a year of change. So, what does the future hold for us in 2025? Whether or not you believe in the prophecies of Nostradamus, Baba Vanga, or others, it's clear that the world is on the brink of significant change. With rising geopolitical tensions, environmental challenges, and technological advancements, the year 2025 could be a pivotal moment in human history. Will we face the global conflict and alien contact predicted by these famous seers? Or will humanity rise to the occasion and begin to address the issues that threaten our future? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, 2025 is shaping up to be a year unlike any other. So, what do you think? Are these prophecies a sign of things to come? Or are they simply the result of vivid imaginations? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated as we continue to explore the mysteries of the future. Stay tuned for more. Now that we've explored these prophecies, predictions, and mysterious insights from Nostradamus, Baba Vanga, and others, I'd like to take a moment to share my personal thoughts on the matter. As fascinating as these visions are, I often find myself questioning how much weight we should give to these ancient predictions. Are they truly windows into the future? Or are they simply the musings of people trying to make sense of the unknown? Let's take a closer look at why I think 2025, while undeniably filled with potential, is also likely to be shaped by forces much closer to our own actions. First, let's talk about the predictions of war and global conflict. I can't deny that tensions between major powers are certainly escalating. With the rise of China and its increasing influence on the global stage, paired with the complexities of climate change and economic inequality, the conditions for conflict are certainly there. But to believe that an ancient astrologer like Nostradamus foresaw these very events with pinpoint accuracy seems a bit far-fetched to me. It's not that history doesn't repeat itself, it's more that history is driven by the choices of those who hold power. Yes, the world faces immense challenges. But I think it's important to acknowledge that we, as humans, still have the power to steer these challenges in a direction of cooperation rather than destruction. The idea of alien contact, as predicted by Baba Vanga and others, is equally intriguing but equally speculative. While I personally don't discount the possibility of extraterrestrial life, I do wonder whether these predictions are more a reflection of our collective curiosity and existential fears than actual foretelling. We've been searching for life beyond Earth for centuries, and the idea that we might soon make contact is understandably captivating. But I also think that we're in a time where technological advancements in AI, space exploration, and communication are more likely to bring about groundbreaking revelations. Maybe the real contact we should be preparing for is not with beings from other planets, but with our own future potential. As technology continues to unlock capabilities we once thought impossible. On the other hand, the climate crisis and environmental challenges are undeniably pressing issues that will shape the next decade. While some of the prophecies touch on a rise in water-based power, I believe this could be a metaphor for the growing importance of environmental sustainability. The aquatic empire could very well represent the world's increasing reliance on ocean resources, or even the necessity for countries to adapt to rising sea levels and changes in water access. In this sense, the true prophecy may not lie in mysterious leaders rising from the sea, but rather in humanity's ability to adapt to the realities of our changing planet. Will 2025 be the year we truly start to take climate action seriously? Only time will tell. But I think the year ahead will offer us plenty of opportunities to make meaningful progress in this area. Finally, the predictions regarding global upheaval and shifts in power are intriguing but should not overshadow the potential for positive change. Rather than focusing on the idea of a catastrophic war or the downfall of nations, I prefer to believe that 2025 could be a time when we begin to truly confront our global challenges with collaborative and innovative solutions. Whether it's through technological advancements, environmental policies, or international cooperation, I see 2025 as a turning point where we have the chance to create a better world for future generations. In conclusion, while I find the prophecies surrounding 2025 to be fascinating, I don't think they should dictate our actions or fill us with fear. Instead, we should use these predictions as reminders that we are at a pivotal moment in history, with the potential to shape the future through our decisions. The year 2025 could very well be a year of profound change. But the nature of that change depends entirely on how we respond to the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. So, what do you think? Are we destined to follow these ancient predictions? Or do we have the power to change the course of history ourselves? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It's a conversation I'm eager to continue. And I'm excited to see how we all contribute to making 2025 a year to remember. For all the right reasons. Let me share a story with you that might help put some of these predictions and prophecies into perspective. It's about a small town in the mid-20th century. One that was undergoing rapid industrialization. And how the actions of a few individuals changed the course of its future. I believe this story reflects how sometimes the most profound transformations are sparked by something unexpected. Often by individuals who see opportunities where others see only challenges. In the early 1950s, the small town of Bentonville, Arkansas, was a quiet, unremarkable place. At the time, it was largely rural, with most of its population working on farms or small local businesses. But then came a man named Sam Walton, who moved to Bentonville and saw something that most people didn't, the opportunity to revolutionize the way people shopped. Walton had worked in retail before and had a strong vision of offering lower prices to the community by running a high-efficiency, cost-effective store. In 1962, he opened the first Walmart store in Bentonville. At the time, many people didn't see Walmart as the giant it would become. The predictions were mixed, some believed it would be just another small-town retail store, while others thought it might succeed in a bigger market. But Walton was different. He didn't just react to the way things were, he thought about what could be. He took risks. He challenged the status quo. Over the next few decades, Walmart would go on to change the face of global retail, making Sam Walton one of the most influential business leaders in history. This story is a great example of how significant shifts can come from unexpected places. Bentonville wasn't a major city. Nor was it home to a thriving tech industry or bustling cultural scene. But Walton, like many others throughout history, saw an opportunity that others missed. He had a vision. And he was willing to work toward it with persistence and innovation. And while his success did not come without its challenges, there were plenty of naysayers, competition, and even moments of doubt. His dedication to that vision led to something much bigger than anyone could have imagined. Now, why do I think this story is relevant to the predictions about 2025? It's because, like Sam Walton, the future isn't necessarily written in stone. It's shaped by the actions of individuals who dare to challenge conventional wisdom and embrace the unknown. Just as Walton's vision of a new kind of store changed the world, the people who shape the events of 2025 will be those who choose to innovate and think outside the box. Whether it's the way we approach climate change, technological advancements, or even international relations. The future will be decided not just by those who foresee what's coming, but by those who actively work to create it. Just as Walton's success was built on the power of vision and perseverance, the challenges we face in 2025 can be overcome by the same qualities. Whether we face environmental catastrophes, political unrest, or other crises, the actions of individuals, those willing to innovate and adapt, will determine the course of history. We may not be able to predict exactly what will happen, but we do have control over how we respond to the challenges we face. And just as Sam Walton saw an opportunity where others saw only a small town, we too can find solutions to the world's most pressing problems if we remain open-minded and bold. This story is a reminder that history is full of moments when unexpected changes occurred. Not because they were predestined, but because someone decided to take action. The future is uncertain. Yes. But it is also full of possibilities. It's up to us, as individuals and as a global community, to decide what those possibilities will look like. As we move into 2025, let's take a page out of Sam Walton's book. Let's not just wait for the future to unfold according to predictions and prophecies. Instead, let's work together to create the kind of world we want to see. A world where we're not just passive observers of fate, but active participants in shaping our shared future. Nostradamus, the famous 16th-century astrologer and seer, is perhaps one of the most well-known figures when it comes to predictions about the future. His prophecies, recorded in the book Prophecies, are a blend of mysticism, astrology, and cryptic verses. Over the centuries, these quatrains have been interpreted in countless ways, often applied to world events ranging from the rise of Napoleon to the attacks on September 11, 2001. But what do his predictions say about the future of humanity? Specifically in the year 2025, many of Nostradamus' most famous predictions are filled with vague language, making them open to interpretation. However, some recurring themes in his writing seem to point toward global conflict, technological advancements, and even natural disasters. These themes resonate particularly in the context of the world we are entering as 2025 approaches. One of Nostradamus' quatrains, which has been widely interpreted, mentions the year 2025 directly. In the year 2025, a great war shall come upon the earth, leading to the fall of an empire. The skies will burn, and the oceans will rise. Only those who are prepared shall survive, and they will rule the lands when all is quiet again. While this prediction could be seen as purely symbolic, some believe it speaks to the increasingly tense geopolitical climate, with rising tensions between global superpowers, particularly the US, China, and Russia. It's easy to see how one might interpret Nostradamus' writings as a warning of an impending conflict. The phrase, "the fall of an empire," could be interpreted as the potential weakening or collapse of a major world power, possibly even the United States or another dominant force. The line, "the skies will burn, and the oceans will rise," may refer to the growing concerns over climate change and environmental degradation. If we consider the ongoing natural disasters that are becoming more frequent, such as wildfires, hurricanes, and floods, it's not too far-fetched to think that Nostradamus foresaw a world grappling with the catastrophic effects of global warming. Rising sea levels, devastating heat waves, and extreme weather patterns are all part of the dire future many scientists warn about. However, it's important to note that Nostradamus was a product of his time. He lived in an era when humanity's understanding of the world was limited. And yet he predicted events that seemed to defy the knowledge of his day. Whether or not his predictions are purely coincidental or based on some hidden knowledge, The fact remains that many of his quatrains seem to have an eerie relevance to today's world. Another notable quatrain from Nostradamus speaks of a technological transformation. A great machine shall rise. And the earth will be divided by invisible forces. The cities will grow tall. And mankind shall build things that touch the heavens. But at what cost? The world will be unrecognizable. And those who built it will lose their way. Many scholars interpret this as a prediction of rapid technological advancement, including the rise of artificial intelligence, automation, and the increasing role of technology in our daily lives. The great machine could be a metaphor for the internet, global networks, or even the vast AI systems that are being developed today. This transformation is already happening. And as we move into 2025, it seems that humanity will be faced with a future where technology plays an even more significant role in shaping society. But the warning in the second part of the quatrain, where those who built it will lose their way, hints at the dangers of unchecked technological growth. It suggests that, in our pursuit of progress, we might lose touch with our humanity. This could be a cautionary message about the ethical dilemmas surrounding AI, data privacy, and the potential for technological dependency to erode personal freedoms and connections. What makes Nostradamus' predictions so intriguing is that they often leave us with more questions than answers. His cryptic language and reliance on symbolic imagery allow for a wide range of interpretations, making it easy for people to find connections to their current fears and anxieties. Whether you believe in the supernatural elements of his work or view them as a product of historical context, there's no denying that Nostradamus' predictions have captivated the imaginations of people for centuries. Looking at his prophecies in the context of 2025, it's clear that Nostradamus envisioned a world in turmoil, a world grappling with not only external threats, such as war, but also internal struggles, such as the consequences of unchecked technological advancement and environmental degradation. And while it's impossible to predict the future with certainty, these themes are as relevant now as they were when Nostradamus first penned them. As we approach 2025, it's important to ask ourselves, how much of the future is really written in the stars? Do we have the power to change the course of history? Or are we doomed to repeat the same mistakes of the past? Perhaps Nostradamus wasn't just telling us what would happen, maybe he was urging us to act, before it's too late. In the next section, we'll explore other prophecies and predictions that could further illuminate what the year 2025 may hold. But for now, consider the words of Nostradamus. Are they merely the musings of a man who lived hundreds of years ago? Or do they hold a deeper truth about our present and future? As we look ahead, we can't help but wonder if we are on the brink of a major turning point, one that will shape the future for generations to come. As we stand on the brink of 2025, it's impossible not to feel a sense of anticipation, mixed with a hint of uncertainty. Prophecies, whether from Nostradamus, Baba Vanga, or other sources, have always fascinated me, not because I fully believe in their accuracy, but because they serve as a reflection of our deepest hopes, fears, and questions about the future. There's something almost mesmerizing about these ancient predictions that seem to hold up a mirror to our modern world. They make us stop, think, and question the path we're on. Personally, I've always been a bit of a skeptic when it comes to predictions. After all, history is filled with countless examples of prophecies that didn't come true. Yet, there's a part of me that can't help but be drawn to these visions of the future. I often find myself asking, could there be some truth hidden within these cryptic verses? Could Nostradamus have seen something in his time that resonates with the challenges we face today? It's easy to dismiss these prophecies as mere coincidences or as the product of overactive imaginations. But the world we live in today, With its constant stream of information, rapid technological advancements, and ever-growing concerns about the environment, feels like a stage set for something monumental. The predictions of Nostradamus and others seem to tap into these anxieties, offering glimpses of a future that could either be transformative or disastrous, depending on the choices we make. What strikes me the most about these prophecies is their timeless relevance. Nostradamus, writing in the 1500s, couldn't have predicted the exact shape of the world we live in today, with its digital revolutions and global interconnectedness. And yet, his warnings about war, environmental destruction, and technological advances feel eerily familiar. It's almost as if the issues that plagued his time, war, famine, political instability, are still with us, albeit in new forms. In this sense, his prophecies seem more like cautionary tales than rigid forecasts of the future. Take, for example, the environmental concerns Nostradamus raised in his writings. The idea of the skies burning and the oceans rising can easily be connected to today's climate crisis. From unprecedented wildfires in Australia and California to the rapidly melting polar ice caps, we are witnessing the kind of environmental changes that Nostradamus hinted at. Whether or not he had any knowledge of global warming as we understand it today is irrelevant. The imagery he used resonates with the very real concerns we have about the planet's future. It's a reminder that the actions we take today will echo into the future, and the consequences of inaction could be dire. Similarly, Nostradamus' predictions about technological advancement, while written centuries ago, speak to our current reality. As we stand on the precipice of AI, robotics, and other groundbreaking innovations, it's hard not to see echoes of his warnings. The great machine he spoke of could very well be the artificial intelligence that is transforming industries and reshaping our world. But as he pointed out, the rapid pace of technological progress comes with its own set of risks. We must be cautious about losing our humanity in the pursuit of technological dominance. The balance between progress and preservation of what makes us human will be one of the defining challenges of the 21st century. Of course, it's easy to get swept up in the gloom and doom of these predictions. But what strikes me is how these visions, whether from Nostradamus or others, are not necessarily set in stone. They are a call to action, a reminder that we have the power to shape the future. Prophecies, in a sense, are not just predictions, they are warnings. They challenge us to think critically about the path we're on and to make choices that will steer us toward a better future. When I reflect on these prophecies, I also think about how they impact our daily lives. Whether we believe in them or not, they serve as a reminder of the fragility of our world and the responsibility we carry. We may not have control over every event that shapes our future, but we do have control over our actions, our values, and the choices we make. Prophecies can be a guide, a mirror that forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about our world and our place in it. As we move toward 2025, we find ourselves at a crossroads. The challenges we face, climate change, political instability, technological disruption, are not unique to Nostradamus' time. But they are more urgent than ever. The prophecies may seem distant and cryptic, but they hold a mirror up to the issues we must address today. It's up to us to decide whether we will heed their warnings or continue on our current path, one that may lead us to a future of uncertainty and strife. In the end, perhaps the most valuable lesson we can take from these prophecies is not to fear the future, but to prepare for it. Whether or not Nostradamus was truly able to predict the events of the future is beside the point. What matters is how we respond to the challenges we face today. We have the power to shape the future with our actions. And in that power lies the hope that we can build a better world for ourselves and future generations. So, as we stand on the threshold of 2025, let us reflect on the lessons of the past, the warnings of the prophets, and the possibilities that lie ahead. The future may be uncertain, but it is also full of potential, and that, in itself, is something worth striving for. As we draw this journey through the prophetic visions of Nostradamus, Baba Vanga, and other sources, we find ourselves not only reflecting on the past but also contemplating the future. What have we learned from these ancient predictions? And how can we apply their lessons to our own lives? While many may dismiss prophecies as mere fantasy or coincidence, there are valuable insights embedded in their cryptic words that we cannot ignore. One of the key lessons we can draw from Nostradamus and others is the importance of awareness. These prophets warned of events and trends that, while exaggerated or veiled in mystery, hold a mirror to the realities of their time, and, in many cases, to the challenges we face today. From environmental destruction to war, social unrest, and political instability, the recurring themes in their predictions reflect issues that continue to threaten our world. However, the fact that they were able to anticipate these issues, even in vague terms, serves as a powerful reminder of the need to pay attention to the signs around us. In modern times, it is easy to get lost in the noise of our fast-paced lives, rushing from one trend to another, constantly seeking entertainment and distraction. But when we take a step back, much like Nostradamus did, we can begin to recognize the underlying forces at play in the world. Climate change, for example, is no longer a distant possibility, it is happening right now. And the consequences of inaction are becoming increasingly apparent. Similarly, the rapid advancement of technology is reshaping the way we live, work, and interact with one another. Nostradamus' warnings about technological innovation and its potential dangers seem almost prophetic in the age of artificial intelligence, automation, and digital surveillance. It is a stark reminder that technological progress, while beneficial in many ways, also carries risks that we must navigate with care and foresight. Another critical lesson is the importance of resilience. Prophecies often paint a grim picture of the future, one filled with disaster, conflict, and collapse. But they also highlight the ability of humanity to endure and adapt. In many cases, the prophecies don't necessarily predict the end of the world, but rather the upheaval and transformation that come with challenging times. It is during such moments that we discover our strength, creativity, and determination to overcome adversity. The lessons from the past, whether in the form of prophecies or historical events, remind us that while the road ahead may be difficult, it is not impossible to navigate. With innovation, collaboration, and the will to make positive change, we can create a better future. These prophecies also stress the importance of responsibility. They remind us that we are not passive bystanders in the unfolding of history. Each of us plays a role in shaping the future, whether through the choices we make in our personal lives, the policies we support, or the actions we take to address the global challenges we face. Nostradamus and other prophets did not offer these visions to foretell a predestined fate, but rather to serve as a warning, urging humanity to act before it's too late. In that sense, prophecy becomes not just a glimpse of the future, but a call to action. The responsibility lies with us to take the lessons of the past and use them to influence the course of the future. As we conclude this exploration of prophecy, it is important to acknowledge that while predictions can be intriguing and thought-provoking, they should not dominate our lives or decisions. The future is not written in stone, and our fate is not sealed by the cryptic words of an ancient seer. Rather, The future is shaped by the choices we make today. We are not bound by prophecy, we have the power to forge our own path. While the lessons from Nostradamus and other visionaries can help guide us, it is our actions in the present moment that will determine the world we create for ourselves and future generations. So, what can we take away from this? First, let's not ignore the warning signs. Whether they come from ancient prophecies or modern-day research, we need to recognize the challenges we face and address them before they spiral out of control. Second, we must embrace resilience. While the future may seem uncertain, humanity has proven time and again that it can rise to meet adversity. And third, we must take responsibility for our own role in shaping the future. Each choice we make, no matter how small, contributes to the larger picture. We are the architects of our own destiny, and the future is in our hands. In the end, prophecies are not just about foretelling the future, they are about inspiring action. Whether you are a believer or a skeptic, one thing is clear: the future is coming. And it's up to us to decide what kind of world we want to live in. The lessons of the past are a guide, not a prescription. The real question is not whether Nostradamus was right, but whether we are ready to act on what we've learned. So, as we step into the future, let's do so with awareness, resilience, and responsibility. Let's not wait for the world to change on its own, let's be the change we want to see. The future may be uncertain, but with the lessons from the past as our guide, we can navigate it with hope, determination, and the belief that, together, we can build a better tomorrow. As we stand on the precipice of the future, looking back at the wisdom of the past, it becomes clear that our choices today shape the world of tomorrow. The prophecies of Nostradamus, Baba Vanga, and other visionaries may not be literal predictions of impending doom, but they do offer us valuable lessons about the forces that shape our destiny. These insights can serve as a powerful motivator for us to think critically, act consciously, and ensure that we steer the course of our future in a direction that benefits everyone. Now, more than ever, we need to consider how we can apply these lessons in our own lives. As we face global challenges like climate change, economic uncertainty, political unrest, and technological disruption, it's easy to feel overwhelmed or powerless. But we must remember that history is not determined by a few powerful individuals or events alone, it is shaped by the collective actions of all of us. So, what can we do today to make a difference tomorrow? First and foremost, we must stay informed. The world is changing rapidly, and the more we understand about the forces at play, the better equipped we will be to navigate the future. This means paying attention to not just the headlines, but also to the underlying trends that drive global events, whether it's the rise of artificial intelligence, the ongoing climate crisis, or shifts in geopolitics. By staying informed, we can make more informed decisions that align with our values and the world we want to create. Second, we must take personal responsibility for our actions. It's easy to look at the world and blame others for its problems. But real change begins with us. Whether it's reducing our carbon footprint, supporting ethical businesses, or advocating for policies that prioritize sustainability and social justice, every choice we make has the potential to impact the world around us. Prophecies may offer us a glimpse into possible futures, but it is our daily actions that ultimately determine the path we take. Moreover, we must become advocates for change. The world needs leaders who are not afraid to challenge the status quo and push for bold solutions to the problems we face. This doesn't necessarily mean running for political office, but it does mean speaking up, sharing ideas, and supporting causes that promote positive change. Whether it's participating in community efforts, engaging in activism, or simply raising awareness. Each of us has a role to play in building a better future. In addition, we must build resilience, both personally and collectively. The future will undoubtedly bring challenges, some of which may be unforeseen, just as Nostradamus and others predicted. But rather than fearing what's to come, we should focus on developing the strength and flexibility to adapt. This means cultivating a mindset of growth, learning to bounce back from setbacks, and fostering a sense of hope even in the face of adversity. By building resilience, we can face whatever challenges lie ahead with confidence and determination. As we look ahead to 2025 and beyond, let's also remember that we have the power to shape the future. The prophets of the past may have warned of impending crises, but they also gave us the tools to act, wisdom that can guide us through turbulent times. We are not doomed to repeat history, we are the architects of the future. And it is up to us to decide what kind of world we want to live in. So, here's my call to action: take what you've learned today, reflect on it, and ask yourself, what can I do to create a better world for tomorrow? Start small, but start today. Whether it's making more sustainable choices in your daily life, supporting the causes you believe in, or simply having meaningful conversations with those around you, your actions matter. The future is not some distant event, it's unfolding right now. And each one of us has a hand in shaping it. I encourage you to share this message with others. Spark discussions about the prophecies and their relevance to our lives. And let's collectively work towards a future that we can all be proud of. We may not have control over everything that happens, but we do have control over how we respond to the challenges we face. Let's choose hope, resilience, and responsibility. The future is ours to shape, let's make it a good one. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the past, present, and future. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Together, we can create a future where we are not merely passive observers, but active participants in crafting the world we envision. Stay curious, stay informed, and let's make 2025 and beyond a year of positive change and growth.